Alright, so I want to take the next few reviews and be reviewing about 4 or 5 books that I've read by a Christian author named Frank Peretti, who, based in his style of writing, is kind of the C.S. Lewis of this generation. There are 4 books of his, Prophet, This Present Darkness, Piercing the Darkness, and The Oath, which I read in between 2000 and 2003. Now, it's been a while since I've read those books, but I'm going to review them based on what I remember of them. And the most recent I read, which was The Visitation, I read back in '06. So I'll have reviews following for those shortly. To start off with this book, we got a guy named John Barrett, who is a anchor for a well-to-do news station in the city where he lives. And his uncle, not his uncle, but his father owns a construction business and is killed very horribly in an accident out there. Now, at the same time, he's got all this personal stuff going on. He's got a tiff with his executive producer at the studio and his son, Carl, who he hasn't kept in contact with in a long time, has wandered back into his life, so he's trying to rebuild up a relationship, but that doesn't get off to a good start. The basic thing with this is that Peretti likes symbolism in his novels, and it'll be the feeling of whatever that is on his mind at the time, or probably just the way in the story he wants to tell. The basic premise of the book is that it's a pro-life, anti-abortion standpoint that he's taken. We get several symbols in here of, kind of certain things about, trying to have a man return to his faith that he once lost. In fact, the book actually opens up with a point of him coming to receive Jesus when he was a child, and he actually sees this lamb, which is supposed to represent Jesus. It's actually like a baby sheep sitting there on the altar that he comes up to, and it comforts him to be with it. And at some point later on in his life, he grows older and he begins to get out of his faith, and it will take him returning into his faith in this book to help rebuild his relationship with his son, to build up a better relationship with a couple of other people around him, at the same time as solve a botched abortion attempt on the daughter of a friend that he makes throughout this, as well as find up a political cover-up that makes his father's accident look so much not like an accident anymore. It's a very good story. Now, if you get to reading any of his other stories where he has like angels and demons or a dragon, which will come in later stories, this one is a little more grounded in reality, but the problem I have with it is that it comes off a little too preachy. Now, I know it's a funny thing to say, but the fact is that everything written throughout most of Peretti's books is in black and white. You won't really see any kind of gray areas happening, or some of the more surprising stuff that he allows to happen later on in a book say like The Oath. But here is kept fairly on a human type of level. We also have this thing where he's hearing voices, and what those come to be later on is kind of important, and it will help affect his relationship with the executive producer that works with him. All in all, I can say with this, it's an interesting little political thriller, as well as having some good morals in it. My only qualm with it, as I said, is kind of preachy, but it's still definitely a good read. I'd recommend that you check it out. Check out your library. They probably got a copy, and that's all I have for this.